twilight, these sisters discuss the paranormal and the unnerving. They are known as the ParaSisters.
What's up, party people? It's Rebecca.
And it's Tristan.
And you are watching and listening to the ParaSisters.
Yes, you are.
That's right.
We're fantastic.
Yes. I'm ultra excited because it's almost Halloween.
Well, it is in my heart.
Yeah. Only 300 days left. Anyway, it's almost Christmas.
Very close. It's only a few days away.
I love Christmas.
And by the time this video comes out, it will be Christmas. So Merry Christmas to all of our people.
And if you don't celebrate Christmas...
What's sassy?
And if you don't celebrate Christmas, well, happy holidays. I know Hanukkah ended on the 18th, so it's fine. Was it the 18th? I think it was. Anyway, sorry, Jewish friends, if I'm wrong on that. I apologize. Anywho, so you know what we do here. We're gonna talk about some stuff. It might be scary. It might not. It's kind of this subject. I think is a little more lighthearted because it's again lores and myths and legends. It's not necessarily spookiness. You know.
I'm really excited to see what you're gonna do.
Yeah, so we talked about it a little bit beforehand. Just because I wanted
to... Which we don't normally do.
No, we don't at all, because we like to surprise each other. But we did talk about this because I had the idea of, if you're watching this, in theory, you have now watched Tristan's last episode or case where she did the Monsters of Christmas. And we talked about, I wanted to do a follow-up, so we're doing the part 2. We're doing Monsters of Christmas part 2. And I like saying Deux because I feel fancy in French.
Deux.
Which I don't know why. But there you go. But before we start, of course, I have to say that if you guys like what we're doing, you have to like our videos. And you have to subscribe and follow us or whatever the hell you do. I don't know. And share.
And share.
Yes, tell everybody about it. Everybody. And of course, you can always listen to every single episode we've ever put out in podcast form on almost any platform. Almost any platform out there where you get your podcasts, that's where we are. Just Google the ParaSisters podcast, and that's it. We're there. We're right there.
Yep. We'll pop up. We'll be there.
Yeah, we'll do a pop-up on you. I don't know what that means, but we'll do that. Sounds fun. Anyway.
It does.
So I'm in a very Christmas mood. I've been in a very good mood lately, and I'm drinking, so maybe that's put me in a better mood. Tristan was drinking some delicious Irish cream, and I said, I need some Irish cream because I just bought some, and I've never bought it in my whole entire life, except for when I went to the liquor store the other day, so there you go.
Yes, it's so good.
I feel like a grown-up drinking this. Which I am a grown-up.
But it can become a problem when you start drinking it before you go to work.
Oh, yeah.
In your coffee.
I mean, I asked Andrew, like, would it be appropriate if I were to put it in my coffee in the morning? And he says, why not? Nobody's going to know. Said,
now everybody knows.
And I said, oh, okay. I don't know. I want to, but I'm afraid, so. Although my boss gave me liquor at work, their little chocolate liquors, so I feel like they're sending me the signal of, yes, we're okay if you drink. Although they're not.
Right.
Sure. I'm sure they're not saying that, but
it's not okay. It's not okay at any job.
No, unless
actually that's not true. I know that some bartender jobs. I know that at some bartender jobs, you're allowed to buy the bartender shots and they can drink them.
That is true.
Not at my job. I'm a bartender who cannot drink, so
that's a bummer, man. That's a real bummer.
Nobody can. Not really. Like
it is.
No.
What's he saying? What's going on?
Sorry. I don't. Sassy's talking about, he says, nobody better buy me a fucking shot anyway.
He's like, I'm gonna be down there with my baseball bat. I heard you bought my wife a shot. It's like a little old lady. She's like, I'm sorry, Sassy. Oh my God.
She's like, I heard you bought my wife a shot with your baseball bat, right? It's some little old lady.
That poor woman.
Honestly, I cater to a lot of little old ladies.
Yeah, I thought you did. It's a casino. That's where old ladies go.
It's not. No, we don't. It's not a casino. It's a tavern.
Oh, well,
and very like. It's a very higher class type of establishment. So, like, you literally, like, our customers have a dress code. Not only do the employees have a dress code, our customers have a dress code. Like, you can't come in there with your slippers on or your pajama bottoms. You can't wear wife beaters.
That's kind of awesome. Although people don't really dress like that here.
Yeah.
But in where you live, I know that they do. So.
They do, very much so, like, to go shopping at Walmart. Like,
listen, when I was a teenager in that town, I used to wear my pajamas around town. That's what I did.
Rebecca, when you were a teenager, it was cool to wear your pajamas around
That's
town.
true. We are talking about the early 2000s where it was like that was the thing to do, was walk around in your pajamas and your flip-flops.
Right.
Which we're over that now.
Way over that.
Wait, okay. What did we talk about already? Did we say to like and share and subscribe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
So then I guess we should just get started. If you're ready. And I'm ready.
I'm ready. I'm excited to hear what you got this week.
So I did a little digging and I got a few things to talk about. Some of them are kind of creepy. Some might be a little funny. I don't know. We'll see how it is. I don't know that mine's going to be as freaking hilarious as yours was, because I was like, I rewatched the video as I was editing, of course, and it was like, I was cracking up like every 2 seconds. And of course, Nessie, as I'm doing it, he's like, you guys need to grow up. You're not even serious. Because we're just laughing like nonstop. Of course, he was joking. Maybe, but we'll see.
Right.
He might not have been. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Okay. So we're going to start The Monsters of Christmas, Part 2. And we're going to start with Frau Perchta. It's a weird name. It's German. It's weird. Perchta is often identified as stemming from the same Germanic goddess as Hulda, which I've heard of, but I don't really know that much about Hulda. And, of course, other female figures of German folklore. And it says, in parentheses, to see Frigga Frigg, which I don't know who that is, but it sounds interesting.
It does.
So the Grimm brothers actually use Perchta. I don't know how I forgot to pronounce it. Perchta. Forgot already. They actually used her as the basis of one of their stories, which I don't know which story it is, but according to Jacob Grimm and Lottie Matz, Perchta is Hulda's southern cousin or equivalent, as they both share the role of what they call the guardian of the beasts, and they both appear to the 3D printers making weird noises. They both appear during the 12 days of Christmas when they oversee spinning. So they are the guardians of spinning, I guess. Of like wool spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's also related to Perchta, which makes sense because their names sound almost exactly the same, except for one's a B and one's a P. But Perchta is the goddess of winter, witchcraft, and animals, apparently. So that's why they're...
Oh, okay.
I don't know. So in many old descriptions, Perchta had one large foot, and this is weird to me, I feel like. Is everything okay over there? This sounds really weird. So she had one large foot, which was sometimes described as a goose foot or a swan foot. And actually, Jacob Grimm, thought that this strange foot actually symbolized her being a higher being who could shapeshift. He thought she was a shapeshifter, and she could change into animal form at will. And he says, quote, "It is apparently a swan maiden's foot, which as a mark of her higher nature she cannot lay aside, and at the same time the spinning woman's splay foot that worked the treadle? How's it? I don't know. That thing of the sewing machine. The pedal.
Oh.
I don't know. I should have just said pedal. Don't be fancy. You're not fancy. Sorry, I got a little bougie. I went bourgeois on you. Anywho. And he also noticed that Birchta, I can't fucking talk, with a strange foot exists in many languages. So that's how they determined that they were the Birchta, what the fuck? And Birchta were related to each other because they both have really similar characteristics of the foot in different like cultures. So
they're not the same?
No, they're different.
Okay.
So the Birchta was the goddess of winter, witchcraft, and animals, remember?
That's right, yeah.
And I think that Birchta, I don't think she's a goddess necessarily. I think that she is just like the guardian of spinning or something.
Okay.
I don't know. And apparently she's a fine seamstress, as we're about to find out. Some other descriptions of Birchta kind of describe her in two different ways. Like, she may appear like a beautiful and Snow White, which is, I guess, kind of what her name actually means. Or she can appear elderly and extremely haggard looking. Huh. So, initially, like when this legend came out, or folklore, or whatever the hell you want to call it, Birchta was the upholder of cultural taboos. And they are talking about, like, the prohibition of spinning on holidays, which apparently you were not allowed to do back in the day. No spinning for you on Christmas, okay?
Whatever you do, do not make cloth.
Exactly. Oh my god, my drink almost killed me. Okay. I swear it's like straight liquor down my throat. I don't know what happened. It was very weird. Okay. So, in the folklore of Bavaria, which, by the way, I'm obsessed with Bavaria. I feel like I should be living in a castle in Bavaria because I'm a queen.
It's a great place, and a lot of good lore comes out of there.
That's true, and it's gorgeous, and I want to go there someday. So apparently in Bavarian and Austrian folklore, Birchta was said to roam the countryside at midwinter, and she would just enter random homes during the 12 days of Christmas, and Epiphany, which is part of the 12 days of Christmas. Yes, no, I don't know. I feel sad that we don't like celebrate like traditional Christmas, like how they would do like the 12 days of Christmas, Epiphany. We don't do that here.
And then you have like Boxing Day and stuff like that afterwards.
Yeah, we're very materialistic. We're like, get to Christmas so we can have our presents. And that's it.
Right.
So when she goes into these homes, she apparently would know whether the children and young servants of the household had behaved well and worked hard all year. And so if she came and discovered that you had been good and done all the things you were supposed to do, the next day you might find a small piece of silver in your shoe, which is very, very Germanic tradition. It goes back, Santa puts candy and stuff, your presents, in your shoes.
Little toys. Right.
Yeah. Or even a pail, apparently, she used to put stuff in. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because if you did not do what you were supposed to do, if you were naughty in any way, shape, or form, she would slit your belly open, remove their stomach and their guts, and stuff the hole with straw and pebbles. Oh. And she was particularly concerned to see that girls had spun their whole allotted portion of flax or wool during the year, and if they didn't, they would get this treatment. And so
Damn.
it says very specifically that she would slit your belly open, stuff them, and then, being particularly deft at seamstressy, is that a word? I don't know. She would sew you back up. For what purpose? I don't know, because I imagine you're dead at this point. So, I don't know.
Right. That's awful. That's
Yes.
awful.
And also, she would kind of do the same thing to you if you ate something on the night of her feast other than the traditional meal of fish and gruel. So,
What?
yeah, she was not a very forgiving person. She's like, "What? You ate an oat cake? You're fucked.
Dead.
You're
That's
just dead.
it.
You're over, man.
Guts for garters.
You are canceled."
Guts for garters, man. That's it.
Exactly. You're done. So in Switzerland, Perchita had these demon sidekicks, and they were called the Straggle. Now the Straggle
Ooh, I think I read about that.
are they're their own particular brand of loveliness. They apparently would be able to take it on themselves to dole out punishments to who? Maybe kids that are naughty. They're not very particular apparently, because they would find random children, they would rob these children, and then they would throw them in the air and tear them to pieces with their claws. I'm not even joking.
Oh,
I mean,
what the heck? I'd be terrified of Christmas if I was a kid living during these times.
yes.
And you're telling me about the straggle and the pea lady.
Perchta, right?
Perchta. Yeah.
So right, you have
I'd be terrified of Christmas. I'm like, I don't even want Christmas.
Yeah,
like,
you're
forget
like,
it. I'm done.
let's just not even celebrate. Okay, let's go on vacation. All right, let's just do that. Right, because on the one hand you have
Go to Florida.
Yeah, yes, sunny. It's got palm trees. We're good. So on the one hand you'd have Saint Nick, of course, who would bring you great things, candy, treats, toys, whatever, if you're good. But then, the more likely scenario is that you're not good. And you might get attacked by Perchta.
Like, I wonder what it would take to be naughty or nice.
I know. I don't know. I mean, obviously, if you didn't, spin your whole allotted portion of flax or wool, well,
You were bad.
it's not looking good for you, honestly.
I mean, like, what if you had, like, I don't even know what time period this is from, but, like, what if you had gotten, like, dysentery or something?
Yeah, no.
And, like, we're, like, down for, like, 2 weeks, you know?
Yeah, what if you're sick? What if
You got the Rona.
What if you got
Like,
the
what if you
Og?
got the Rona?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You're fucked, man. You are fucked. You're dying? Well, let me help you. Because you didn't spin your wool, bitch. You're not.
Right.
These poor people, I feel terrible for them.
How funny. Yeah, I'd be terrified of Christmas. I'm not even lying. I really would be.
I mean, it'd be interesting to hear if someone had found, like, their loved one's, like, stomach cut open with their intestines on the ground and they're sewed up with pebbles and straw inside.
Well, you see, it would go like any other legend or any other folklore. A friend of a friend's mom, this happened to them. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, Billy's mom told me that Stacy's son was bad. Yeah, exactly.
Right, right.
Oh, Lord.
And this is what happened.
People are fantastic when I don't even know if they want to scare people. Like, I don't know what their goal is when they're making these stories, but
I don't either. Yeah, scare them into being good.
yeah, I think it worked for sure, probably. They probably had way less naughty children back then than we do now.
Probably. Yeah, because the threat of Santa isn't even like anything anymore, you know? Like,
No,
Santa Claus isn't going to come. They're like, I can be good for like 5 days and Santa will be here, so.
Dude, it actually makes me physically sick to think about that. Because my son's a butthead, like, literally. And so, like, he doesn't even pretend that he's going to be good anymore. He's like, screw it. I know Santa's coming. It doesn't matter.
To just withhold all the presents and Santa doesn't come that year, talk to Santa and be like, Yeah, no, it's not happening this year. And then he's gonna shit some bricks, man.
He's like, oh, what? Yeah,
Yeah.
the worst part is we have an elf on the shelf. Jeffrey is his name. His name is Sir Jeffrey.
Oh, the one that Callum ordered and he wasn't supposed to like 3 years ago.
Yes. I forgot all about that. Thank you for reminding me. That's people, if you have small kids, please don't turn on one-click ordering on Amazon, okay? That's just a side note to you. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Yeah. So even with the elf, he's like, he's wild now, man. He doesn't care. He's like whatever. Maybe Perchta will come this year. Just kidding.
Maybe.
Just kidding. That's all. All right. So that was Perchta, and now we're going to talk about. I love this name, and actually, I don't know if Baby Sassy is a fan of Christmas Chronicles on Netflix.
Yes, we watch it all the time.
Dude,
we love that movie. And number 2 is fantastic.
Is Kurt Russell not like the best thing ever for Santa?
I'm telling you. Yes.
So in the second one, I'm sure you'll remember, there's a naughty elf with this name, and it is Schnickel.
Yep. Schnickel.
And that's who we're going to talk about is Schnickel.
Yay.
And apparently this was an actual naughty, mean, crazy thing. So Schnickel is a crotchety, fur-clad Christmas gift-bringer figure. So he's almost like Santa. In the folklore of the I can't say this word. Somewhere in the southwest region, Germany, along the Rhine, the Saarland and the Odenwald area of. Oh fuck! I didn't even look at this word before I tried to. And here we go. It's Baden-Württemberg. Baden-Württemberg.
Baden-Württemberg.
Baden-Württemberg. Yeah, Württemberg. Anyways, the figure is also preserved nowadays in Pennsylvania Dutch communities and also in Brazilian German communities.
Oh, okay.
So Schnickel. I just love this name. I'm gonna have an animal named Schnickel one day. You watch.
I also like it. I thought it was pretty cool when we watched Christmas Chronicles number 2.
Yes, even though I don't like that kid that plays Schnickel, I love the whole idea of it. Anyway, Schnickel is related to other companions of Saint Nicholas in German folklore and German-speaking Europe in general. And they think he may have been based on an older German myth, which was, Nacht Ruprecht, a servant of Saint Nicholas and a character from northern Germany. Unlike those characters, though, Schnickel does not accompany Saint Nick, but instead he goes alone, and he combines both threatening and benign aspects, which usually in other traditions are divided between Santa or Saint Nick and his companion figures. But Schnickel is a man who wears furs and sometimes a mask with a long tongue, which honestly creeps me the F out.
That's weird, yeah.
He's typically very ragged and disheveled. He wears torn, tattered, and dirty clothes. He carries a switch in his hand with which he beats naughty children. But he also carries pockets full, is that a word? I don't even know, of cakes, candies, and nuts for the good children.
I do not want your pocket candy. I'm sorry.
Keep your pocket nuts, please. We don't want that. Keep them away.
Especially because he's described as disheveled. I really don't want your pocket goodies
anything,
at all.
Please.
Like, I don't want
keep
them.
Your hands
don't.
And treats in your pockets. Keep them away.
Please. Nasty.
Oh gosh, okay.
I'm thinking of like pulling out like a grandpa do, and it's all covered in
Like
lint and hair from your
It's all,
pocket.
it's all linty.
It's like, here you go.
I got a present. You're gonna love it. I throw it at his
I'm
face.
like, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, he'd probably whip me with a switch because I'd be like, kick him in the head. I'd be like, get out. He'd be like, you're naughty, that's it.
That's gross.
Yeah, it's freaking me out, actually. So a first-hand, I don't know how first-hand this possibly is, but a first-hand 19th century account of Schnickel, which is slightly different than Schnickel, tradition in Allegheny County, Maryland, can be found in Brown's miscellaneous writings. I don't know who Brown is. For some reason, I didn't put that in.
Emily Brown?
Maybe. I don't know. It's just some random person with the last name Brown. So, oh, never mind. It says right here, Jacob Brown.
Oh, okay.
It's a collection of essays by Jacob Brown, who was born in 1824. So writing of a period around 1830, Brown says, "We did not hear of Santa Claus. Instead, the tradition called for a visit by a very different character altogether. He was known as Kris Kringle, Schnickel, and sometimes as the Christmas Woman," which I don't even know, but there you go. Children then not only saw the mysterious person, but felt him, or rather his strips, upon their backs with his switch. So, could you imagine just, you're walking along one day, you're like, do, and then all of a sudden you're getting whipped in the back.
That'd be awful.
By an invisible thing. You don't even know what it is. And you have to...
That's awful.
Like, you're like, oh, is this Schnickel? What's going on? Like, you don't know.
Like, you have no idea.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Like, you're one of the Irish kids in the neighborhood. And you're like, what the hell is going on?
What's happening back there?
Because you would have no idea that it was Schnickel.
Yeah, right, because you're not German, you're Irish.
Right. The only Irish kid in the neighborhood.
That poor fucker, man.
Oh, goodness gracious.
He might be bordering on offensive. I don't know. Hopefully not. We love Irish people.
We do. We love all people.
Well, I don't love all people. That's a different story. Anywho. So this annual visitor would make his appearance some hours after dark, thoroughly disguised, especially in the face apparently, which would sometimes be covered with a hideously ugly fizz, which was apparently women's garb, and maybe that's probably why they call him the Christmas woman. And sometimes it would be a veritable woman, but with masculine force and action, which I don't know what that means, but it really freaks me out. He or she would be equipped with an ample sack about the shoulders filled with cakes, nuts, and fruits, and a long hazel switch, which was supposed to have some kind of a charm in it, as well as a sting. I don't know what the charm would do, but it sounds kind of scary. So one would scatter the goodies on the floor, and then scramble. The scramble would begin by the delighted children, and the other hand would ply the switch upon the backs of the excited youngsters. So is this not the most fucked up thing you ever heard? They're like, here's candy.
It is awful. Yeah, it is awful. That's awful.
Oh, God.
I mean, because what kid isn't going to go after the candy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're all going to go after the candy. And then they're all just going to get switched up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
although
after the candy and the goodies.
I mean, it does have a little addendum that says the kids apparently would not wince. Unlike if it had been like parental disciplines, there would have been screams that would reach a long distance. So I don't know. That still seems awfully cruel to me to offer these kids like candy and.
Was he just tickling them with the branch? Like,
Here, come here. Oh gosh.
I'm literally picturing the old guy in Family Guy.
Listen, I never I don't get creeped out by cartoons very often. But that guy
is creepy.
That guy creeps me the F out. Just like
I agree.
I get like the heebie-jeebies whenever they have him come on. I'm just like
I agree.
So apparently in the 19th century it was, and I've actually heard of this before, but it was popular for revelers to go schnickling. I can't even talk. Bell snicking. And this is where they would get drunk and run around the city vandalizing shit and playing pranks on people. I wonder if they threw candy on the ground and whipped random people when they tried to pick it up.
They may have. That's awful.
It's so terrible. It's just like, it's weird. It's weird in a weird, creepy way.
What is wrong with these, like,
I don't
pastime people? What is wrong with them?
I have no idea.
I don't understand. Where do they get these things from?
I don't even know.
We live in the medieval times or like ancient times. We have no electricity, no internet, and some points we don't even have books.
Right.
Like, let's make our lives more miserable and make up some crap about some scary ass person who will whip you after he throws down candy for you. The only thing that may bring your life a little joy.
Right. You're poor, you're hungry. Well, get some nuts and candy, all right? Turn your back. A little bit more.
Let me whip you while you do it.
That's awful.
These people were awful.
So, so it's Bell Schnickel. I guess I didn't realize how short my episode's going to be, but that's okay. I don't mind it. Because I'm on my last one already. And
that's okay.
This is Pierre Fratwa. Fratwa. Fratwa? I don't know. I'm not French, but that seems like it's right, but I don't know.
I like it.
It
sounded right to me.
I have been trying to teach myself French. But if you're not aware, I'm not a French teacher, so... So Pierre Fratwa is French for father whipper, or old man whipper. And he's another character in the French traditions of Christmas who accompanies St. Nicholas on his rounds during St. Nicholas Day, which is December 6th. And he goes around and he dispenses coal and or beatings to naughty children, while St. Nicholas gives gifts to the good ones. So I guess I appreciate.
That's awful.
I mean, I appreciate though that they don't have St. Nick being like the good and the bad guy. Like he's the good guy, and then he has the bad guys that do the bad stuff to people. I kind of appreciate that. We should bring that back, actually.
I agree.
So
wasn't a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly. So he is known mainly in the far north and eastern regions of France, and in the south of Belgium, and also in French-speaking Switzerland. And although similar characters do exist all over Europe, probably Bell Schnickel would be really closely related to this person, I think. So this whipping father was said to bring a whip with him and spank all of the naughty children who misbehaved. And apparently the most common depiction of Pierre Fratwa is of a man with a sinister face, dressed in dark robes, with scraggly, unkempt hair and a long beard. He is armed with a whip, a large stick, or a bundle of switches. So
a bundle of switches?
Yeah, so if he breaks his switch on your ass, don't worry, he's got extras.
He's got more.
He's good. He's good to go. He's got you covered.
How hilarious.
So the most popular story about the origin of Pierre Fratwa was first told in about 1252, and it was an innkeeper. And this is like gruesome. This is like seriously like I don't even know. So it's an innkeeper or possibly a butcher in other versions. We don't really know. Apparently this butcher captures 3 boys who appear to be wealthy and are on their way to enroll in a religious boarding school. So he and his wife capture these kids, kills them in order to rob them, and one extremely gruesome version tells that they drug the children, slit their throats, cut them into pieces, and stewed them in a barrel.
Oh. That is freaking awful.
I'm not sure what they were going to do at that point, but I think we all know.
I can't say I enjoy this one all that much.
I mean, this is kind of like, have you seen Sweeney Todd?
I have not, actually.
I
don't enjoy adult musicals, I have to say.
Oh my god. It's not, I mean, yes, they sing, but it is a truly horrific movie in the best possible way. Like, in the best.
Isn't it about Jack the Ripper, kind of?
So really quickly, I will tell you that the plot is a barber, has a wife and I think a child that are murdered, and something happens to him. I can't remember. I've only seen it once, but something happens. He goes to prison or he's taken away or something. He's finally released. Well, he's a barber by trade, so he opens up like a barber shop business above a pie shop that Miss Levitt, I think it's called Levitt's Pie Shop, I don't know, she owns, which is Helena Bonham Carter by the way, and she's fantastic. And I
love her.
So she owns this pie shop. Well, he like lures all these men in that he thinks are in some way responsible for his wife's murder, and he kills them, and he sends them down to Miss Levitt, or Mrs.
Who bakes them into pies.
Who bakes them into pies and then sells them to people.
Oh.
And she has the most famous pie shop in all of London.
Yeah. That's awful.
It is, like I said, it's gruesome, but in the best way possible. I mean, it's Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter, so it's like they're of course fantastic.
Good combo, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, after so Saint Nicholas apparently discovers the crimes of the wife and the butcher, and he comes along, and apparently he resurrects these children even after they've been chopped up and stewed in a barrel. It's not funny. I'm sorry. I don't know why I laugh. I don't think that the fate of children being stewed in a barrel is funny by any means or anything. It's just one of those things where it's like, it's so ridiculous it obviously can't be true, you know?
Right.
So he
Right.
Yeah. So he resurrects the children, and apparently after this, Pierre Fratwa repents and actually becomes St. Nicholas's partner. And of course he dispenses the naughty side, like we said before. A slightly different version of this story does say that Saint Nick forces Pierre Fratwa to become his assistant as a punishment for his crimes. Although I don't know how giving a guy that murdered 3 children the job of punishing children seemed like a good idea, but I mean, maybe it.
We don't know.
Maybe it taught him a lesson. I don't know.
I don't know either. So I agree with you. It's very weird.
It is weird, and I don't know. I think that we all can agree that some of these Christmas stories are incredibly strange.
Incredibly strange. I agree.
Yes. And that's actually all I got. There are more. I just didn't want to run over because I didn't know how long we would be talking about it. And now that I'm looking at the time, we've only been going for 40 minutes. This is going to be a short
That's
episode.
okay. My Monsters of Christmas Past episode, which you guys need to go back and watch because it is funny as hell.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually got the idea from watching Christmas Chronicles 2 because the Yule Cat is at the beginning of the movie.
That's crazy because I have seen the beginning of that movie twice and I don't remember it at all.
At the beginning of the movie, okay, so the beginning of the movie, the kids are in Hawaii or Florida, wherever they're at, Bahamas, wherever.
Oh, yeah.
And then Belle Schnickel tricks them into going to the North Pole. Well, Santa Claus is chasing the Yule Cat. And he even calls him Jola.
Oh, that's right. I think I remember
and that's
that.
what
Yeah,
that's what actually got me started on that, because I remember reading something about the Yule Cat before, and then when I looked up the Yule Cat, it connected him to the others too.
That's crazy.
So yeah, so that's what started me on the Monsters of Christmas Past to begin with.
And of course, I took my cue from you and did part two.
Part two.
There I go, being bougie again. I'm gonna get guillotined if I don't knock it out. I'm very bougie. I'm bourgeois.
I don't know. I like the Christmas ones though because they're just so outlandish. You know what I mean?
I know, they're so ridiculous.
And
I know, I love it. Yes, this is going to be coming out on Christmas, so hopefully it's a Christmas joy for all.
Yes, it's hilarious. Like these people blow my mind the way that they are.
Yes.
And like the shit that they make up. I'm like, how? Why? Why is this like
bored
this?
are you? Like, seriously. I know that when the sun goes down, you ain't got shit to do, but still.
But I'm like, why would they make up these tales to scare their children? Like, their children could not have been that bad. Honestly.
I don't think they're robbing people or killing people or...
And if they were those kind of children, I don't think that a tale of somebody whipping them is going to scare them.
Although, I mean, if you were told that Perchta was gonna come and slice you open and fill you with stones and straw, that might, I mean... Or the Straggle were gonna throw you in the air and rip you to pieces.
Right.
I mean,
that one would.
Maybe not, though, because if they're terrible kids, they're gonna be like, whatever. Like, I don't care.
Right.
I don't know.
It reminds me of this little boy who Sassy had found, and he's talking to his dad, and his dad tells him they're in England, and he's like, I talked to Father Christmas last night when I was at work.
Yeah.
And he said that you're on the naughty list. And the little boy's like, I'm not on the naughty list.
Naughty?
And then he tells his dad, naughty. And he tells his dad that he is going to uppercut Santa Claus.
Oh, shit.
He's going to uppercut Father Christmas if he doesn't put him on the good list.
I don't think so.
And he's going to punch his beard off. It is the funniest video.
I'm gonna knock that fat man's beard straight off his face. Poor Santa.
He's gonna uppercut Father Christmas and knock his beard off. Punch his beard off.
Oh my god.
So maybe that kid is going to get a visit from Perchta.
Yeah, and he probably deserved it. We're having like a crazy
I don't know what's going on. Bailey never farts.
Listen, your dog looks like I think it's the dog in the original Grinch with that thing on its head.
Oh yeah, Max.
Yeah.
We have also said that she looks like Max.
Yes, she does. That's hilarious. Another Christmas movie.
Yeah, I don't know why Bailey is barking. She never barks.
So, quickly before we get off here, I want to tell you a story. It's very, very quick, and it doesn't have anything to do with Christmas.
Okay.
But it's pretty spooky. So I'm at work yesterday, and I am like walking along, and we have like a monitor that has all the cameras like outside, because our building is very secure. We work with a lot of like personal information, so it's a very secured building.
Right.
So it has like every door has a camera on it. Well, we have like a bay door where deliveries come in, and one of the cameras is on the bay door. So I'm walking along, and I'm kind of looking at the screen, but I'm not like focused on it. And I swear to you, Tristan, I saw a shadow person.
What?
So I'm like walking, and it was so weird. And it was like, it's almost unbelievable to me, because I feel like my eyes were playing tricks on me, but it was like, it was like out of like not even the corner of my eye or my peripheral, but because I was looking almost directly at the screen, because there are different view, like, you know, different camera views, and this one's like in the top corner.
Right.
And I saw next to like the bay door of my work a shadow, a black mass, and it was bright daylight outside. It was probably like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. It was bright daylight outside. There were no shadows in the frame. And I saw a shadow move at like lightning speed across like the film, like the ground towards the door. It was like, it was so fast. It was like, and it was like in the frame and out of the frame, just like that. It was so crazy. And I'm like, what? And I did like a double take, of course, because I'm like, what's happening? And I'm like staring intently at the thing to see if someone is walking around out there that just happened to like go off camera, and I saw like their shadow after. And I'm like watching, and I watched for probably 2 minutes, and I never saw anybody out there.
How creepy and crazy.
And I don't know.
Have you ever had anything else weird happen there?
So I was just going to tell you like a little side note to later on in the afternoon. And I don't know if this has anything to do with it. But it could have just been my clumsiness, but I really don't think it was. So I am like the designated cleaner. I clean all the surfaces for COVID purposes. And so we have like a little closet that you can like kind of walk into, but it's not very wide, you know. It's like a regular size closet, but it's kind of deep. So I have to go in there to get the spray and the towels that I use to clean. Well, I go in there, I get my stuff, I come out, I shut the door, and the very first thing I do when I shut the door is I clean the handle. That's like the first thing I clean is the handle of that. And I always grab it and I do this motion, you know, and I'm cleaning the door, turning the handle. So I go and clean. I come back to put my stuff away, and the door is locked. And I'm just like, I tried it. And I'm like, what? So I try it again, and I'm like, what's happening? And then I go and I like talk to like Tracy, who's like one of the bosses, and I'm like, the door is locked. Do you have a key? And she's like, I didn't even know that door locked. And I'm like, okay. And then like I go,
how odd. And
then I go to talk to my other boss, John. And I'm like, do you have a key? Because the door is locked. And he's like, I didn't even know that door locked. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, I've been cleaning for like 8 months solid, and that door has never, ever, ever been locked, ever.
How crazy.
So I don't know if that has anything to do with the shadow person, or if I'm just an idiot and I accidentally locked the door, which seems implausible, but not impossible, because, you know, things happen.
How could you? Though?
I don't know.
But I mean, like,
but anyway.
That's so weird.
But I'm fairly certain I did see a shadow person.
Really odd.
I'm like 80% sure that I saw something slightly paranormal.
That's really crazy. That's odd. That's very cool, too.
That's my story. Yeah, the building kind of creeps me out a little bit, because it's, like, big and cavernous. And when there's
Is it older?
It's not old. I mean, I'd say it's probably from the 80s, and it's like a big warehouse that's been converted into like office in the back. So I don't know. It's weird.
There could be something there. Maybe you should do some research about the building.
Yeah, right. I didn't even think of that.
Interesting. Yeah.
Maybe I will. And anywho, I thought that was a good story. I've drank all of my delicious Irish cream, and I've got
I only have a little bit left of ice in it.
I've got a little buzz going, so I think it's a good time to end this. And I guess we'll end this by saying that if you enjoyed, please like, please share, turn on our notifications, tell everybody you know, and we are still, don't be dicks, guys, come on, we're still asking people to send us true real-life stories of scary experiences.
Yes.
And or if you know a place that's particularly see, I'm buzzed, is slightly spooky or scary, let us know and we'll do some research.
Extremely spooky and scary.
Well, Tristan's a lot braver than I am, so
I want to know
if it's free, if it's freaky.
Sorry, guys.
If it's freaky and you want us to do a case on it, let us know and we'll do all the research for you, and you don't have to do anything, and we'll take care of it. But you gotta let us know.
Right, so, or if there's something particular you guys want us to research, as long as it has to do with paranormal, please let us know. We had a request from somebody on our YouTube channel, but it's not really a paranormal. I did do some research into it, and it's just a case of missing girls. We don't naturally do true crime stuff. We did do the Jameson family,
and we did the Die
there was
we did Die Clock Pass, but they're strange. They both
have a paranormal bent to them.
Right, they both had really strange like instances before, leading up to, and after the disappearances and or deaths of these people. Yeah. That's why we covered those. I will say that I love true crime. I know you love true crime. I listened to a podcast called Case File. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there because I love it. It's like one of my favorite podcasts. And he actually did a show on the girls that the person had requested in our comment. And from everything that I've heard, while extremely tragic, and I wish I knew their names. One was like, her last name was German, Libby, and I can't remember the other one. It was extremely tragic, and if anybody knows anything, of course, they should tell someone. But I don't think it's paranormal, and
it's just not our genre. Yeah. But if there is something you guys want to hear or you want us to research that is paranormal, let us know, because we like to do research. I like to do research.
Yeah.
I love to just delve into good, spooky mystery,
Definitely.
I want to know what's going on. I love paranormal things.
Me too. And I mean, if somebody knows something about the girls' case where it could be paranormal, let us know, and we'll look into it.
Right.
I mean, if you feel truly like it might be paranormal, then I will check it out. Seriously.
Yes.
But anyway, you can always get a hold of us by email and or comments or Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. Any of those things. Mm-hmm. We have all of our links in the description of this video right down there. Just check it out.
And anybody who's listening to us just on podcast, you can go to our YouTube channel, ParaSisters, on YouTube, and you can find those links that will take you to all of our social medias.
That's right.
So if you're just listening to us on podcast, you'll be able to find those links there.
Yes, or you can maybe try to spell OccultusSoroibus. Good luck.
Which is extremely difficult because I tried to sign in. I got a new computer today and I tried to sign in, and I misspelled our email address like 5 times.
It's like,
So
no.
it's easier just to go to our YouTube channel
Most
and
definitely. Just click
click
on
the
those
link,
links.
and it's going to take you directly there.
Who doesn't like links? They're easy. They're fast. They're blue.
Links
There
are,
you go.
and they're underlined.
That's
Can't
right.
miss them.
You can't miss it. It's right in your face. All right. So yeah, turn on our notifications too. I forgot to say that, I think. Anyway, we're gonna end
Yes,
this.
and shout out to all of our Instagram subscribers. We're up to 240.
Yes, let's get to 300 before the new year. Come on, guys.
Yes, 300 before the 300 by the new year, and we will do a case of your requests.
Yes, come
Let
on.
us know.
Do it.
Yes, we want to do something. Even if it's common, we don't care. We try to find uncommon ones that people haven't really heard of.
Yes.
But we will do some common too. If you just want to know about it, we will do all the research for you.
That's right. So, but you got to do all those things. You have to tell us because we're not mind readers.
Yes.
Although that would be cool, but we're not. So.
That'd be a whole other episode.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I wish I knew a minder. That'd be awesome. Anyways.
Me too.
Sorry, I had a Wayne's World moment going. Anyways, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
We know that people are dealing with COVID, but we hope that your holiday is enjoyable. I want to say political things, but I don't want to upset anyone. So you do you. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. Just enjoy yourself. I agree. I got liquor, so it doesn't matter. Anyway. So I will end this. So catch you all on the flip side.
And you all stay creepy. Merry Christmas.
Peace.